Episode 61, Great Stamina. The next morning, when Serena woke up, she found her eyes were super puffy. However, she had a class taught by her favorite professor in the morning, so she had to wear a pair of sunglasses and go to class. The moment she took off the sunglasses, her classmates kept asking what was going on. Luckily, there was no class in the afternoon, so Serena immediately left the classroom, putting her sunglasses on. Taking out her cell phone, Serena dialed Henry's number. In order to live a comfortable life in the future, she had to execute the plan earlier. Meeting with Henry at a quiet cafe, Serena said directly, "I want to be a partner at your company." Henry was dazed and smiled. "Don't joke with me, Mrs. Robinson. I don't need your money." In Henry's eyes, Serena was only investing because she wanted to help him out as a friend. He did not need sympathy like that. Having known Henry for many years, Serena knew what he was thinking. Although he seemed carefree, Henry was a very proud person. There was no way he'd accept her charity. Serena sat up straight and said seriously, "I mean it. I need to make money of my own." "Your husband's money is not enough?" Shaking her head, Serena looked a bit depressed. "I can't spend his money my whole life. One always needs a backup plan." Henry felt something was off, arched an eyebrow, and sipped some coffee. "Is Mrs. Robinson fighting with Mr. Robinson?" "No." "Then why are you doing this?" Serena did not answer, but narrowed her eyes and said, "$3 million." $3 million? Henry almost jumped, crying incredulously. "We are only a small team formed by college students. Aren't you afraid that I'd run away with the money?" Henry looked at Serena as if she was a fool. "You want it?" "Of course!" Henry answered immediately. "However, I don't need that much money. All I need is $800,000 to launch a new project." $5 million for 30% of your company's shares and a part of your new project. What do you think? Henry opened his mouth wide, feeling Serena must be crazy. "You trust me so much? $5 million is not a small number. If I run away, you will get nothing." "Will you run away?" Serena asked. "Of course not," Henry answered immediately. Very soon, he smiled and said, "Are you serious?" "Certainly. $5 million is the most I can offer currently. Do you think it's enough sincerity?" "Of course." Henry smiled, feeling touched. In high school, Serena had to work a part-time job besides school. He had no idea that one day Serena would become so rich. However, at the same time, he was not making much of himself yet. Having discussed the details for about half an hour, they left the cafe. The moment they walked out, they saw a black Maybach parking by the street. "Madam," called Marcus. Serena was dazed. She walked over and said with her brows knitted, "How do you know I'm here?" Marcus blinked at her. Obviously, it was Jake. Serena frowned, looking disturbed. She had just left the campus and told no one that she would be here. How could he possibly find her? It felt like she was being followed. Fortunately, it would be one more week until Jake got back, so Marcus was the only one who saw her with Henry. Otherwise, the ridiculous man would have the wildest imagination. Still, Serena told Marcus, "Don't tell him about my meeting with Henry." Marcus heard that and suddenly had a strange look on his face. He winked at her again. Serena suddenly felt her heart had missed a beat.
"A secret?"
A deep voice sounded in the back of the car, suppressing something. Serena's expression immediately changed. It's him. He's back? Serena quickly looked to the back seat. However, her eyesight was blocked. "Serena, let's go!" As Henry said that, Serena felt the temperature had dropped. The window in the back rolled down, and a face appeared in front of her. Narrowing his eyes, Jake asked,
Where are you going?
For some reason, Serena felt anxious. She just did not want him to think too much, but she had no idea that Jake was sitting in the back seat. This way, she could never clear her name in front of him. When she was trying to explain, she suddenly thought of the crazy lovemaking between Lila and him, banging Lila at night and following her the next day in Austin. Great stamina. The guilt and nerves Serena was having suddenly disappeared. Under Jake's scorching gaze, Serena smiled. "We're going to eat. Does Mr. Robinson care to join us?" Jake was briefly mesmerized by her smile, and then his eyes became cold. Initially, he thought he would get an explanation from her. As long as it was reasonable, she would be forgiven. However, she just so blatantly said she was going to eat with another man.
There's food at home.
But I asked a friend. Serena looked at her wristwatch and said, "I'm sorry, he's been waiting for me. Suit yourself, Mr. Robinson. I'll go now." Then she left for real. Jake's calm eyes were filled with anger. What is this woman's problem? Now she doesn't even want to pretend anymore?
Serena!
Jake couldn't help exclaiming.
Get in the car!
I said I have plans. Serena looked cold and distant. I need to go. Henry saw how Serena's look had changed and felt dazed. It was so cold. Henry had never seen Serena look like this before. He couldn't help glancing at the Maybach and saw Jake, who was in an equally bad mood. Are they fighting? Am I the cannon fodder again? Oh, my God. I need to find better friends.